Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Lynk's League, because I'm in a league of my own. Wait, where I'm in a league of my own. And this gameplay, I'm featuring Zed, the Hidden Blade Shadow guy. I forget what his tagline is. I think it's the Master of Shadows? I don't know. He looks like a noob to me. Yeah, so I'm going to be featuring Zed this gameplay. Our Ziggs has yet not connected, so we're going to see me being retardedly aggressive here, and hopefully not getting collapsed on by their team. I do see the Teemo right there, so on my next refresh I attempt to hit him, but I do underestimate the range. Now, they've actually pinged at me, and I pinged at Teemo, and they actually want me dead. So, what do? I continue to do nothing. I actually land that on Teemo. I know they're both in there, it's just kind of obvious, as I'm going to see her actually get out, and I know that all three of them are there, so I'm going to get the speed buff and run for my life. Singe is going to do what Singe does, and make people chase him. Now we're going to turn and do a little bit of damage, as they will try and disengage with an AP Teemo dart. AP Teemo is no longer viable, people. What? Just realize this. AP Teemo is no longer viable. They have lowered the ratios on this, lowered the ratios on this, lowered the base and ratios on this. So your mushrooms do less damage, and they do less damage from AP. This does less damage per hit, and this does less damage per hit. So, yay! AP Teemo was finally broken. So, we're going to feature Zed in this gameplay. Now, talking about Zed, I seen... who was it? It was somebody with like a 2,000 plus elo. Who was it? I can't quite remember. It was... crap. It wasn't X Special. It wasn't Chaos. I want to say it was either Wings? Wings? Or who was the other player I was watching that night? He was either Wings or one of the Korean players. Or, well, was he Korean or was he Asian? Or, well, technically, I'm not going to get into that because I'm not sure what to say. He was an Asian, he was from, I don't know. He was a Korean or an Asian, there. I covered both bases. That's embarrassing. Okay. So, besides me slipping up, it was either that guy. I do think it was Wings, though, that essentially showed off Zed in the light that he deserves. He is a greatly underplayed champion. He has amazing last hitting. I've done as good as pros when it comes to last hitting in a game before where I was zoned completely. I think it was a Ziggs. No, it wasn't a Ziggs. It was a... Who was it? It was either a Twisted Fate or a Ziggs game where I managed to out-farm to the point where I was getting roughly 11 CS per minute. And that is really good. I was doing quite well when it came to that. There's the slow going in, and me just flashing out and choosing to have her chase me because there's nothing they can do because Singe is right there, waiting. And she now does retract, as she did not see Singe, but she knows that I was leading her to something. So, Zed. Zed is one OP guy. But, as with all new champions, he's a little bit of issues when it comes to actually how he works. What's our issues with this? Well, the issues with Zed have to lie behind his ranges. How are his ranges broken, you might ask? Well, it goes like this. His ultimate's range is that of what you can land with your Q. If your Q can hit them, you can most likely hit them with your ulti. Now, I don't like this. I mean, throwing your shadow, that's great and all, but I wish you could throw it a little bit more and they could work on a little bit on the coding, because it gets stuck on walls way too much. There'll be an example later. And I really would like to see this actually fixed. If they could fix it, I'd be very, very much appreciated, because it will get stuck on walls like that. Like, it needs to check if it can go through the wall before it travels and it checks as it travels instead of it checking as it flies. But if you send the endpoint to like right here, and you were standing right here, it couldn't reach it, so it'd be like check, 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 wall, right? But when you're going at like an angle, it'll be like check, 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 wall, I'm not sure, and it'll stay right here. So that's essentially how that has been broken. Also, his ulti has a ridiculously low range. I think that anyone that's played Zed can actually agree on this. It's not good for chasing, it's good for sitting next to the target and waiting, or you have to blow your W to get the range. I had to W and flash and ulti just to keep up with an Ahri before. I mean, yes, she did pop her ulti. I mean, I went in with the W, E'd, got her slowed, started walking up, land my E again, because she decided to ult toward me and then ult away. And then she ulted away again. I flashed, or I activated the rest of my W, I flashed, and then I ulted into her, and I still was barely next to her. The range of that is horrible. It needs to be fixed. I mean, seriously. Okay, so we're now bottom, and we're going to see a 3v3 breakout, yes? Yeah? Also, you could use that, excuse me guys, you can use that to check bushes as well, and by that I mean his shadow. Let's go up here, here we go. So how does Zed work, and why should you learn him? Zed works by being Zed. Essentially, he can do things of this nature and completely wreck. Now we're going to see the Singe going in. Oh my god, excuse me. Excuse me. Jeez. I am very sorry. This is quite unprofessional, and it is rather late at night. Although we're going to see quite a bit happen here. We're going to see the ultis going down, and me going in after the Vi, the only source of damage. Now blinking back to my old ghost and going after Teemo, landing just the shurikens, but we're going to see them going, or the Sejuani actually going after them, as I'm going to come back out. Now I'm going to try and zone, throw that where I thought she was going to go, and attempt to land more damage as they will get away. And they do manage to live. Now, Zed has a very, very high skill cap. Now, what I mean by that is if you manage to land your ultimate, and then you manage to get your W in a good position, you can get up to an 80% slow, and you can do up to 250% of your normal damage with all three of your ghosts, and all three of them hitting. This is amazing. I've done this before. I've ulted on a target. After ulting on the target, I threw my ghost where the other one was, so there was like a triangle of us. Then I hit my AoE, got him really slowed, land my shurikens. And all this while I actually started, I ult ignited, then I threw the shadow out. So all this while they're ignited, it did roughly like 300 to 400 damage extra, and it was amazing. Now, let's get back to Zed's kit. Zed's kit is great for what it is. We have the Shadow Step, which you'll probably see right here, the E, which does land a slow if it's hit by the Shadow, and the Qs, as I just had perfect timing of all that. Actually forcing her to back off. Yeah, he actually has a lot of utility in his kit. He's got good range for poking and getting a farm early game. I mean, early game, I actually, a lot of the times, will just spec into Q first. So we're actually going to bait the Vi in here, and the Singe is going to lock them off. I'm going to ult in on the Vi, and she's essentially dead, but Ziggs wants to finish her off. Now we're going to go after the Sejuani, as she's going to try her AoE slow, and Singe is not going to have it. Singe is going to get closer and closer and closer. There is the slow. This Singe is actually good. He can land his targetable spells, and there's me picking up the kill with my passive. And a great thing about Zed is his passive. Sorry, it's just fun to say. His passive, essentially, once they're at half health, they get a lot of magic damage done to them. It is 8% of their maximum health. So, essentially, you can last hit minions with the greatest of ease. I mean, Oriana, Teemo, and... who is it? Excuse me. Who is that last guy? I'm trying to remember. There's all of those, and then I can't remember the other one. There's another champion that has great... whatever. There's Ziggs getting dunked by the Vi, and the disengage so easily done in between the Ziggs and Singe without that CC down there. But we're going to see Miko in, and land my Shadow, get vision on all of them. They're going to decide to stay, as my Shadow will be able to deal more damage. Now we're going to see Vi actually retreating, yet again my Shadow doing damage, and the Vi will fall as I am running and using my skills, even though Teemo Blind does nothing to me. Gonna use my skills and actually get the kill. Now Singed, being Singed, is attempting to go under turret. Not the brightest idea. Although Teemo is curious and wants to put a shroom down. That is his downfall, as he does get thrown in there, and he's going to be nuked by the Ziggs, and the Ziggs will not get out and get an execute. Now it is a low Teemo versus me, and I have no energy. He could easily land a basic in a Q, and I would die in a matter of seconds. But his crystalline flask is yet again empty, so we will not see that happen. Now, them actually pinging for that, I'm choosing not to go and get the... No, actually, I think I was pinging that for Singed. I am sorry. Ugh. I have to record these earlier. Okay. So... yeah. But back to his kit. His ranges on his ultimate need to be fixed. His W's range needs to be increased very slightly. I mean, right there was maximum range. I mean, really? Increase that, and then lower the range that he has to be... lower the range he has to be for him to actually blink, but increase the range of the actual shadow. That would be so much more beneficial for his kit and the longevity of him as a champion. Also, here's a complete melt on them. There's me doing some fancy work and just wasting an ulti because why not? And now I'm going to choose to go after Teemo, but gonna blink back into the bush because I remembered where my shadow was. He magically seen me through the bush, so I decided to come back out and say hi with some blades to Teemo's face. That global taunt is way too strong. So, taking some turret shots just so that they don't have to. Teemo's going to get really greedy and a lot of CC is going to happen and then he dies. The end. But, really, Zed has a great kit. Now, this game I'm rushing Black Cleaver because I don't know why. I really don't know why. They're not counter-building me. This Vi actually is building like... she's building horrible. I mean, seriously. Merc Treads? I mean, Ziggs has built no damage yet. I'm on a killing spree. And Singed built damage. And he... I don't think he's speccing into his smoke. Oh, he is. Or smog or whatever. Gas. What is it called? Just poison. So I'm going to say gas. Smog. Smog sounds cooler. Pokemon. Yeah. So I'm actually in the middle of, I think I stopped building the Black Cleaver for a Vampiric Scepter. I could be wrong. I most likely am. And I could see in the near future me going in and doing something really, really ballsy. Because yet again, I'm an assassin, and there's no reason for me not to try and 1v1 a target. Where I can melt their health down to half, and then basic them, and then they'll die again. So, Vi knows I'm in here. It's kind of obvious how she just backed off. So I'm going to go in and basic. I'm not going to push this lane, because Singed might want to come up and say hi to her. So what am I really going to do? I'm just going to sit here and farm. Throw out my Ghost, land an E, land a Q, get that CS. Try and get as much CS as possible, as yet again I did purposely stall for Singed to get here. So, Singed is going to go in and actually land a little bit of that slow. And he's still going to go in after Vi, but he's choosing not to continue, as we will see him retreat and go back to turret, or back to minions to push to turret. But we will see a Teemo. Oh, excuse me. Okay, sorry, I hit the wrong button there too. We're going to see a Teemo. Now, this is actually quite funny. Or at least in my opinion, it's hilarious. So what are we going to see? We're going to see Singed walking the long way around, and we're going to see Teemo putting a shroom down. I don't want to get hit with that shroom, so I'm going to activate my ulti, go in, land my mark on Teemo. There's my Ghost, there's my E already procced. Now I'm going to go in, land a basic, and I think I throw my Q out right here. Yes, I do. Landing both hits on Teemo, and then yet again another basic. There's the alt proc, as Singed is going to make his way, throw Teemo right back and into my blades for an easy kill on the Teemo. Now, if I would have been able to actually have my my W on cooldown and not thrown my Q, I could have threw another Ghost in that little brawl and gave Teemo an 80% slow, so we wouldn't have had to waste Singe's fling. Although, it's Singed, what do you expect? He's gonna fling stuff. I mean, really. Okay, so there's me actually being again, and Ziggs going complete glass cannon, and his build making no sense. Although Vi is running? Yeah, she's running for her life. Singed flipping her to safety, and she decides not to take his gratitude and go after Singed. So we're actually going to see a collapse in on Singed as the ulti comes out from the Ziggs to zone the Teemo, as we're going to see Vi losing to Singed in a 1v1. How that happens, the world may never know. But on the bright side, I'm up top pushing, right here. And what was I building? What am I building? I already have a Phage. What did I go back and build? I have one less... Oh, I built a Hex Drinker. Why did I build a Hex Drinker? Because Teemo. No, I'm actually just building my standardized build. I build on a lot of assassins. I normally rush Brutalizer, and then depending on the lane, I will either rush a Hack or a Hex Drinker or a Phage. But this is... Okay, sorry. Boots, Brutalizer, either Hex Drinker or Phage, then Black Cleaver, or sorry, you have to build either one, and then you have to build the counterpart, then Cleaver, and then somewhere in there, if you need it, a Vampire Acceptor. Then after that is all done, get a Bloodthirster. After the Bloodthirster, you're going to have one slot open, and I normally get a Last Whisper on Zed, because you need that instant burst damage, and that sustained damage from the basics helps as well. So I'm just camping in the bush. Because I'm camping in the bush, we have literally no vision on what they're doing, and I just wanted to have an easy kill. Teemo gives vision. I decide I want a little piece of that. I'm going to trail her off, knock her away. There's all three Ghost up. All three of those shurikens did not hit, although two of them did, as she will get away with the ulti not proccing. Although we are going to turn on the Sejuani, who thinks she's a tank at level 7 when everyone else is clearly level 12, or level 10 or higher. 10 through 12. As Teemo is going to hide in Wraith Camp. Brilliant, Teemo. Because Ziggs will not want to clear that. Oh, wait, no, you just activated. Oh my god. Teemo, run, Teemo! Run! Global Taunt OP. Come on. Oh, he actually got away. Oh, Ziggs, you're so bad. Okay, back to the champion at hand. Let's pull up the gold and see that I have 125 CS on this map, and I really have been farming. I just pushed lanes. And yeah, Zed is amazing at farming, no matter where you put him, or no matter what you do with him. Now, I mean, as you can see, this game's actually wrapping up. I just mean he is amazing as a champion. There's our builds. I won't be able to show any later builds, because, yet again, the games are ending. We have 30 seconds. I actually got my Vampiric right here, because I already had everything to build the... I already had everything but the build cost for the Black Cleaver. So I decided, why not have a little bit of sustain, just in case a Teemo Shroom goes bad and I have to hit a jungle minion. So that's a thing. Those two are going to retreat, and I'm going to go out and sit in the bush and wait, because I am Zed. Excuse me. I am Zed, Master of Shadows. So what are we going to see here? We're going to see me ulting and getting the combo off on her, doing quite a bit of damage, and turning. Now we're going to have a one-on-one on the Vi. I'm going to do quite a bit of damage. There's the ulti from the Vi, and she will use her ability on me. And there is his ability. There's him getting stuck on a wall. Yup. Welcome to how Zed... Yeah, I do finally die. I'm not God mode in this game. So what are we going to see here? Let's do this. So she's now officially dead. So I'm going to turn on the Vi, land a couple basics, as Vi will actually manage to do quite more damage. Activate her ulti for actually not hitting me for the final ability. There she is hitting me with that. And there's my ghost. My ghost can travel to here. From here. It can travel that far. And yet it got stuck on the wall. That is just bad. I do miss the slow, which did kind of irritate me. And I did do some damage. Now I could have turned, hoped for lucky basic, but she has better basic times than me, and does get the shutdown with her E. But how long has that lived? As Singe is on his way in, will the Singe get the kill? Will the Singe get the... Ziggs gets the kill. But anyway, if you enjoyed the content provided and you want a chance at $10 of RP, leave a like and a comment, and you have to be subscribed. So, if you enjoyed the content provided, do what you do, and I will talk to you all later.